Hello there folks, welcome back to the Chap's Guide. My name is Ash and I am your host on this journey through men's style, self-development and personal grooming. Now today there is a storm blowing through the south of the UK. It's a really wet, windy and wild day, and it's very appropriate because today I'm talking about weathering the storms of life. And that topic that I want to talk about comes from a question from Hassanawaz, who's written to me and said, a bit of a serious question, but how does one get through a difficult period in their life? Everyone has tough times and mental battles, and I was wondering whether you could shed some light on how a chap can deal with these times graciously. And you are absolutely right, Hassanawaz. Not a single one of us watching this video is going to get through our life journey without encountering a storm in our lives. Be that physical, mental, emotional, psychological, whatever. There are storms in everybody's lives. In fact, statistically, we know that about 25% of the population at large will at some point in their lives suffer with profound mental ill health. 25%, 1 in 4. Between you and I, that's not at all accurate. I've been a well-being trainer with a large national military charity for a few years now. And I can tell you, having operated in the mental well-being space for quite a few years before that even, in the charity sector, I think it's 100% of the population will have some form of mental wobble at some point in their lives. I know I have. I have had to weather many storms on my life journey of mental stability, instability, and it's peaks and troughs in everybody's lives. We sometimes have a peak and then sometimes we have a trough. Now today I'm going to give you, in this storm, some of my tips which I think have worked for me, have allowed me to navigate my life, to get through these storms. I hope they will help you on your journey. Now, the first tip I have for you is quite straightforward. Acknowledge those feelings. Just actually take a moment and say to yourself, okay, I am feeling out of kilter. I am feeling angry, sad, frustrated, down, whatever it may be. We all have these emotional feelings, but there is a temptation for people to bury them, to hide them away, to stack them deep down inside your guts and not let them influence your life. But believe me, the beginning to healing is acceptance. You have to accept that you're feeling that way. You can't say, I don't have time to feel ill right now. I don't have time to deal with this crap. Sometimes when you hit a trough in your life, accept it, right? Acknowledge those feelings, because it is the beginning to your healing journey. The next thing you need to do is to reach out for some support, because as soon as you start to feel that you're in a trough, things are not looking good, do not hesitate. This is the time to reach out and ask for help from your support network. Now that might be your family, it might be your friends, there might be a co-worker you can talk to go to for help. It might be more severe than that. You might need to find a therapist or even talk to your doctor. But the beginning to healing is asking for help. Statistically, when it comes to asking for mental health support, you will be amazed that many people who are in a bit of a situation in their lives when it comes to their mental well-being, they will wait for more than 12 months, more than a year, before they will reach out for help, even to their closest loved ones. They bury those feelings, they hide it from those around them, and they live a life of torment during that time. So don't be afraid to ask for help. We all go through this. This is the time that we have built that network of friends for. We need them now. Ask them, because if they were ill, you would be the first person there to help them. The next thing we need to do is to practice some element of self-compassion. Put yourself first. Right? Do not for 1 minute fall into the trap of self-loathing because some element of your life is not perfect at this moment of time. Don't treat yourself with hatred because your life hasn't gone as you expected it. It's not great all of the time. It is perfectly normal to suffer setbacks and knocks and falls on your life journey. It has happened to me repeatedly, over and over and over again. But always remember, when you are in a peak in your life journey, the likelihood is there is a trough coming along sometime in the future. It's peaks and troughs. So when you're down, you'll be up again soon. Now, perhaps the most important thing that I'm going to tell you today is one of the hardest to achieve. And that is to focus on the things that you can actually control in your life. Because I can tell you now from my experience as a well-being trainer, just as a human being progressing through a life, I have noticed that many of the things which people spend the most of their emotional energy worrying about, these are things which actually we have no control over the outcome. We are often worrying about other people's feelings, other people's thoughts, health, well-being of other people, outcomes in work. A lot of the things we spend a lot of time worrying about, we have no control over at all. And if that's the case, you have to say to yourself, if my worrying here serves no practical purpose, what is the point of me worrying about it? If you can come to a point in your life where you can find yourself in that position, you're feeling frustrated, tense, stressed about something which is happening, take a moment and think to yourself, can I have any impact on this thing at all? If the answer is no, why are you worrying about it? Focus that energy on the things that you can control, not things which you can't. And if you can do that, sir, you will be in a fantastic place for your mental well-being. A bit of analysis of the things that we're worrying about often can take the sting out of them. Now, the next tip I have for you is to set realistic goals on your life journey. Because sometimes the tasks that we set ourselves are beyond any reasonable expectation of us ever achieving success. My advice to you is to set smaller, manageable tasks in life, and you are far more likely to achieve them. Don't say, I'm going to pay off my mortgage by the time I'm 45. If realistically, it's never going to happen. Set much more smaller, achievable goals. Remember, nobody has ever climbed Mount Everest in one go. They have always broken it down into small steps. We go to base camp, camp 1, camp 2, camp 3, summit, and all the way back down. Set reasonable, small, achievable goals, and you are far more likely to see the success that you seek than setting these huge, magnificent targets at the end of a huge journey of endeavor. Small, logical steps, that is the way to achieve long-term success. Now, the next tip I have for you is one that we can all benefit from investing in, and that is take better care of your physical health. Because believe me, your mental and your physical well-being are very closely aligned. They feed off each other. One benefits the other very, very closely. And I would suggest that you focus on the big three things. You eat well, right? If you put good things into your body, you will have good outcomes. Sleep well. Prioritize your sleep. If you are not getting enough sleep, if you're waking up in the morning and still feeling tired, if you can't get a good, restful night's sleep, it's something you need to invest your time and your effort in improving that situation. And finally, take exercise. The body is very closely aligned to the brain. When you take exercise, you will actually sleep better. You might likely eat better, and you will feel the forces of nature around you. It's really good for your mental well-being to be outside. Exercise outdoors. Go for a run. Go for a walk. Just go for a stroll around your local park. Feel the wind on your skin, the sun on you, and you will remember that the world isn't all about you. It helps break you free from the stress that you are feeling from above. So look after your physical well-being, and it will help your mental well-being too. Now, my next tip for you is really to seek meaning and purpose in your life. If you have something which you are passionate about in life, you're going to enjoy your life journey more. So many of us are purely focused on our family and our work. And, we just don't actually spend time focusing on anything else. But finding a bit of meaning and focus in your life, which isn't work or family, is very, very valuable. If I asked you a question right now, what are you passionate about in your life that is not your family or not your job? Can you answer it? If you're sat there thinking, not really, I don't have a hobby, there's nothing I really do. I've spent all my time working or running around after the kids or my partner. You are lacking something in your life. You need a passion. People who are passionate about things are people who are focused and driven in life, and they suffer less stress, they are more motivated, they know where their life journey is taking them. If you do not have a passion in your life right now, make it a point to try and fill that gap in your life in the future. Even if it's fishing, reading, whatever. It should be an enjoyable thing that motivates you through the rest of your life. Something to look forward to on the weekend. Find a passion if you haven't already got one. The next thing I'm going to suggest to you is going to sound a little bit new age and fluffy, but it's practice some mindfulness in your life. Now, I get it, all right? A lot of you roughy-tufty chaps are out there thinking, this mindfulness is a load of bollocks, all right? I am not interested in getting involved in naked yoga or having yak semen fired up my nose once a month because it's meant to give you a better outlook on life. I get that. But mindfulness doesn't have to be a load of fluffy nonsense. It can be much more simple things, like keeping a journal to capture your thoughts and your emotions and do a bit of introspection. I do that every day. It can be going for a walk in nature. It can be practicing a bit of curated solitude in your life. Just going out on your own and allowing your thoughts to flourish and overtake you, and allowing yourself to think laterally instead of being stuck between the lines in your rigid life. Mindfulness does not have to be bollocks. It can be something which is really valuable to you. All you need to do is find your flavor of mindfulness. For me, a journal and curated solitude here in nature keeps me on the straight and narrow. It can do the same for you. You just need to find your version of it. Now, my last but one tip for you is to limit the negative influences in your life. If a certain place or person or situation really winds you up, makes you feel stressed and unhappy, just do less of it. Now, I know it can be easier said than done, but if you apply some sort of progressive thinking to the situations which make you unhappy, you'd be surprised how you can often find a solution to your problem. Let's say, for instance, that your journey to work every day involves you being stuck in traffic. You bloody hate it. It winds you up. You get to work feeling unhappy, sad, because you've wasted an hour, 2 hours of your life stuck in traffic. Well, think of the ways that we can limit those negative influences. Take public transport, and then if nothing else, while you're on the bus, you can read a book. You can gain something positive out of your journey. Or even in the car, start listening to talking books so you benefit yourself culturally if you are stuck in traffic. Ask to work from home 2 or 3 times a week, or even change jobs. There is always a solution to the problem that you face if you really put your mind to it. And so if you find yourself being totally destroyed by situations in your life, let's try and limit those negative influences and find a way around it. Now, my final tip for you today is this. Remember, healing from any situation like this takes time. Give yourself time to get over a mental ill health situation that you have faced in your life. Be patient, right? It is worth the investment of your time, because eventually you will start to feel better. You will heal from the situation you faced. And I tell you what, you will be stronger and a better version of yourself on the other side of your healing. Because when you face a situation like this before, or after rather, you'll have been through it before. From the future wobbles that you have the strength of knowing that you can overcome it. You will recover and you will be stronger afterwards. So there we go. Those were 10 tips to help you weather the storm that I am weathering here today in nature, but inside our own minds, our own bodies. It's important to heal and get better and understand it's perfectly normal. We all go through these things. I hope, Hasanawaz, that my answer today has been helpful for you. If it has, give the video a like, subscribe for more. Ask me a question like Hasanawaz did by dropping me a question in the comments, or even better, send me an email. I am the only person whose eyes see the emails which come into this channel. You can write to me in confidence and with zero judgment, and I look forward to hearing from you. If you would like to support the channel, you could buy me a coffee or even become a patron. Become a member of the Chap's Guide family. Come on the journey with me to being a better version of yourself as I find the better version of myself. Until the next time, take care, and I'll see you again very soon.